Hey guys, I'm Taylor Neuman. This is Clay from ZEWMØB, and this is Ryan Lee, and this is ZEWMØB. All right, tell us guys, how did you get started?
All right, I got this one. So basically, both of us have been doing music for quite some time. There was a campus DJ competition here. We both competed in it, and we had a group text going, and me and Ryan just sort of really clicked. We both have extensive music backgrounds, produce music, sort of have the same interests. So that's where we originally met, and then we had talked about doing sort of just a collab project. Both of us working together, and I guess here we are, sort of thing. So
that's awesome. So who's the DJ and who's the producer when you guys play?
Both and both. Yeah,
both. You guys kind of collaborate together. And
that's why we were so excited to start working with each other initially, because we were both producers. We know a lot of DJs around here, but it's exciting to get to work with somebody who kind of has the same skill set as you do. And so we kind of brought this thing together, and that's how through all the people that we decided to work with each other.
Yeah. I think I've been living in Germany for the past 7 months, so he's sort of been more of the face. When I'm there, he's playing shows, still as ZEWMØB, but with Splice, online stuff, we can throw music back and forth. So I'm halfway across the world, we're still working on music, but so he's been doing a lot more than DJ, I think, lately.
That's awesome. So do you guys have music backgrounds, or how did you start DJing?
Yeah, I've got a music background, played drums for 8 years, picked up on some piano. My sister played piano, so I just sort of messed with it, picked up on it. Can't play it that great. I know the basics. He's got a lot more of a classical music background, I think, more than I do. I'm just good at drums, basically.
Well, maybe not classical, but I grew up in the band, and throughout middle school, I taught myself guitar. Through church, it was learning piano and drums, and so I actually wasn't really producing much coming into college, but I was playing in bands and stuff, kind of just wherever I was needed. And kind of at one point, I guess it was kind of a coming of age thing. It's well, if I don't try to produce and give it a shot at being a DJ, I know I had the skills to, then I might always regret not trying. And so that's kind of how I started doing that.
So where did the name ZEWMØB come from?
He actually made it up, I think. he came up with it, I think.
It's a secret.
It's a really interesting name. I've never heard of it.
What do you find interesting about it?
Well, I want to know where the O and the slash in the O comes from.
Yeah.
Was it just a cool design or what?
Well, there's a lot of meanings behind it, but we kind of leave it up to the fans to kind of as they get to know us to start to figure it out. So I'm responsible.
So you have no idea where you came up with the name. You just were ZEWMØB,
Yeah, there's actually a lot of meaning behind it, both syllables, all the symbolism in it. But like I said, we just try to leave it up. We don't want to be too. We wanted to leave a little bit of the audience to invest in us to figure out why those things are the way they are.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I see that you guys are doing a festival over spring break. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, this is the second annual Spring Beats. Yeah. Second annual Spring Beats, put on by Future Astronaut and Trapezoid. Future Astronaut is sort of our label, or our management group, and they're really cool people. They're based out of Gulf Shores, and this is the second annual Spring Beats. He played at it last year, sort of before we were doing our duo project, the ZEWMØB. I just went down there to hang out and sort of support and everything, and so now we're playing again this year. We're super stoked about it. Got some new music, a lot of good talent down there, a lot of good talent, so we're really looking forward to it.
How did you guys get involved?
It's all through his contacts, really, and Future Astronaut down there. I went down there and met the guys. They're all super cool, just sort of clicked really well. And we played a show down there, actually, with Future Astronaut guys in Mobile 2 weeks ago or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was
for Mardi Gras.
A lot of fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So they love having us down there. We're trying to get them up here. just a bunch of cool people that like music, like festivals, that kind of stuff. So it's really good.
That's awesome. So like, have you guys been traveling a lot? So like doing shows everywhere or what?
Pretty frequently. I got the opportunity to go to Florida recently, like around. It was in October. Was it January?
Wait, are you talking about the Surf
Expo? Oh, Surf Expo, Orlando, yeah. In a general sense, yeah, we're like traveling around all the time, mostly through the Future Astronaut and the connections that we make through there. And so it's just been fun to like be able to travel out of state.
Do you think you guys will ever go on tour?
I hope so.
Yeah, there's been loose talks about it to other people, but nothing is really set in stone yet. It's just been a lot of like hearsay. So it feels like it's really close, and but we know that everything is needed to be done in the right time, the right moment. So we're not too eager to try to like jump out into it before we're ready.
Do you guys have a fan base?
Somewhat. I mean, we try to engage with people as much as we can here. We got a ton of friends that support us. Super grateful for that. You know, made a lot of connections here with friends, other local DJs and producers. You know, here in the area, Jodius, Jake and Jake, they were up here hanging out last night. Love those guys. You know, they're super cool. But like our fan base here is pretty good. You know, we're steady growing, trying to reach out. I think chicken.
In the middle of a sandwich making, like.
You want one?
No, I'm good.
You don't want? Oh, bologna and chicken.
But yeah, you know, we just we try to reach out to people and just be humble and be cool and interactive. You know, we don't want to seem like we're like on the opposite side of like Instagram or Twitter, like just sort of do an account. Like we want to engage with people. You know, we sort of find that that's like the best way to make fans like, hey, come out, hang out with us, come, eat cookies and Sonic cookies with us, like eat sandwiches with us, like whatever. You know, we just want to do that because I think that like really like helps solidify that fan base, that it's not just somebody on the other side of like a screen or something like that, or the other side of the DJ booth. You really get to know them. So.
And that's really important that you guys do that.
Absolutely. So I think we're looking to grow for sure. It'll be an interesting ride.
It's all fun and games. So, like, do you think that you guys will continue to do this after you graduate college?
I know for a fact I will. I graduated last year, so
okay.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm still doing it. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna pursue this. I mean, music is one of those things that it's. I think that like music is one of those things that like you're gonna like continue to do it in some aspect. Whether it's being a DJ or going on tour. Like when you're like vested in music, you just like being around it because it's like a really good culture. It's not it's really like good vibes and everything. Like people say that all the time, but like it really is. So it's something that you just like never want to get out of, like regardless of like what aspect, whether it's management, whether it's producing music, and whatever. So I think that it's something we'll do for a while, no matter what aspect.
So I heard that you guys opened for Thomas Jack, and I heard that maybe something happened at Thomas Jack that was kind of funny. Can you tell us about what happened?
Yeah, Ryan, tell us about it.
Yeah, we've been starting to like get more like open on a microphone. It's been a rocky start. And so it's really been going out of our comfort zone to try to get more friendly with the microphone. And I forgot, what fraternity were we at?
We were at Delta City.
I was there.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah.
And I got on the mic, and like one of the worst offenses that you could do to a fraternity is call them a different fraternity. And that's like the first thing I did when we step on a stage was I was like, "What's up, Delta Sky?"
Phi Sig, I think.
Because we had just
played Phi
Sig.
Yeah, because we had recently just played there, and all we heard was like, "What?" And so I fell on the floor and like
you were like hiding, like getting out of here.
I wanted to die and make it seem like it was him who actually made the mess up, but it was quite embarrassing.
So how was it like playing for Thomas Jack? I love Thomas Jack. He's awesome.
It was cool, like the crowd and everything. They were all about it and stuff like that, huh?
Yep.
I hate tomatoes.
It's a fresh tomato.
It's a fresh tomato, but I hate tomatoes.
Fresh
but we got to talk to Thomas Jack like right, as we were switching out sets, and just the minute we got to talk to him, he was super cool, just really chill and down to earth. And
he didn't know where he was.
Yeah, like
What do you mean?
Well, he tours so much that
Yeah.
like, you know, he just gets on a plane and like, you know, I think he thought he was going to do something different. When he got there, he realized it was a fraternity show, but he kind of just shows up and they tell him what he's doing. He just jumps on the stage, does his thing, and then gets off and flies away.
Yep, that's about it.
He was just like a robot, like, oh, I'm here.
Yep,
Exactly.
but really cool dude, really cool.
That's awesome. So I heard that you used to cheer.
Yeah.
How do you go from cheerleading to DJing?
Always being that guy at the cheer parties that has dope music, I guess.
Are you just like the aux cord guy or what?
Sure, if that's what you want to call it. If that's what you want to call it. And then I was the aux cord guy maybe, and then got a mixer and started DJing.
Ask him what his first DJ name was.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. I want to know.
Oh man. So my first DJ name when I very like first started, I had a buddy who got me my first gig at Harry's.
Oh gosh, Harry's.
Yeah, Harry's, right? Everybody says, oh, Harry's. Got me my first gig, and like I was trying to come up with like a good name and everything, something that sort of represented me. Like I didn't want to jump into something real quick and like regret the name or whatever. And so me and two of my buddies, we were just sitting around just talking, like throwing out names, throwing out ideas, stuff like that. And one of my buddies was like, yo, you should go by DJ Flex. And I was like,
Oh, that was the first one.
that was the very first one, yeah.
DJ Flex.
And I was like, nah, I don't really like it that much. Like, you know, we can leave it on the table, but like, let's just keep thinking. Like, I don't want to jump into anything. And so I like my
You brought everything with
Like
you.
everything.
Well, you have to have options. I
like my
believe
sandwich
that's everything in life.
Sandwich plane. But so we were throwing around these ideas, and he kept saying DJ Flex. He kept saying, I was like, dude, like okay, like whatever. He goes, no, like I think it really like has to be like I already told Harry's that like that's who's playing this Thursday, and that's what they've already started promoting it as. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
I have no choice at this point.
Yeah, I kept it for like a few months maybe, and then got rid of it. I was like, screw it, I'll cut it.
We have to feed
There's like
Clay.
flying cookies. There's sandwiches. I don't even know
Well, we
what's
have
going
to
on.
feed Clay's insomnia cookies every so often because it's like a condition where he'll get really hungry. And so that's actually why we have Sam with us, is to just keep feeding him the insomnia cookies whenever he gets cranky. Easier to be around.
Hi, Sam.
Those do pop.
Insomnia cookies are the best.
Well,
What are those?
I can't freaking eat insomnia cookies while he's sitting eating
Anchovies?
What the?
You know, like anchovies? Like that.
Anchovies on a sandwich?
You want some?
No, I'm good.
I like insomnia cookies, bro.
He's eating cookies and you're eating anchovies. This is a huge difference. So, what do your parents think about it? Are they supportive?
My it's funny, they were skeptical, and now it's kind of like gone from a mood of skepticism to like, whoa. Like, cause I mean, we've actually made more of a living doing this than I have at any job before.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it turned into just like kind of like, oh, he's trying, you know, is he going like crazy in school? Is he just going to start doing something that doesn't make him like a living or any money? And then now to tell him like what we're doing now, it's just kind of like they're like really kind of more impressed with it.
Yeah, I think same. A little skeptical, but always supportive for sure.
That's
I mean,
good.
always, even from the beginning. I mean, whether they're skeptical or not, I mean, they always support my music. You know, every time like I see my dad's like a new track or something, you know, maybe it's a dad response, but it's, oh yeah, I like this a lot better than the original. It's more upbeat. It's more this, that, whatever. It just sounds better. So no matter what, you know, they've always been very supportive, for sure.
That's awesome. And you need that support because, like, without it, you don't know where to go. You know, you have no direction.
Absolutely.
Who are you guys inspired by?
Ryan Lee.
Was there any DJs like you listen to and you're like, I want to be just like them, or?
I mean, I've got like inspirations like as far as like my music and sort of my style. Like I listen to hip hop and stuff a lot, like going up through like high school or whatever. And So I've always sort of been on the more like hip hop, like trap sort of side of things, as far as just like a general sense of music goes. And then got to college and like started like getting into like the EDM and more like the trap side of it. So like OK, Flosstradamus, Ricky Remedy, like those are like guys that like really influenced my sound just because I like the turn up, you know, bass and all that kind of fun stuff. So.
For me, I've always been more drawn to like the house music side, and that's where I think me and Clay really come together in a unique way because we both have such different tastes. When we come together, like we're able to share kind of what's going on in our certain like circles of like favorite music genres, and so we're like maybe like somebody who's just into house music, they're not going to really learn a lot or like be up to date on the latest stuff that's going on in heavy bass or like trap music. And like vice versa, somebody who's like totally developed in that scene doesn't really know what's going on over here. So we're able to kind of like keep up with our different like tastes and see what's going on best, and then bring it together when we play our shows.
That's awesome. So you guys have any funny stories on like any time you've ever been on a show or what?
A show?
Like a show, maybe you guys went and traveled somewhere and something funny happened. I feel like you have one.
Do I have one? Is this something Ryan told you about?
No.
Roast.
Maybe.
Oh man. Oh man.
Oh no, no.
I'm just playing with you.
I was like,
I don't have any stories.
about the
You were
roast
waiting for it, and I'm like, no.
I have like a list of things to roast
Yeah,
you
no,
on.
I don't. Funny stories.
Or like mishaps, you know? I mean, like he messed up at the fraternity house.
Yeah, I mean,
Clay messes up every day. So.
Yeah, I'm a terrible DJ. I mean, we mess up all the time,
Yeah.
and it's funny because like we mess up, and I don't know, we're not usually like necessarily embarrassed about it. I mean, it's like in a sense, but like, you know, we're up there having fun. But I think the funniest thing is like when something happens, like last night, like I stopped like the song and it was like dead silent for like a few seconds, and he did the same thing. But every time like that happens, we just like give each other heck for it, and just I mean, it's like a friendly competition sort of thing, you know. We always like go back and forth and butt heads, just being jerks to each other, but in a fun way, you know.
Yeah.
Every time he like messes up, I'm like, oh man, you're terrible. And then he commented on a photo like that we posted the other day, and he was like, oh yeah, I was running away from your terrible mixing skills or something like that. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, but I don't know, you know, normally when we perform, we just have fun, and you know, what's gonna happen is gonna happen, and we just gotta go with it, I guess.
That's for sure. I saw you guys last night. You looked like you were having a blast.
It was a fun night last night. I would say that.
I think that's like the key to like, you know, also to being like a good DJ, like good like performer. Like that's the perfect word, is because like, you know, if you're standing up there and you're just like pushing buttons, like not like you don't look like you're into it, the crowd's not gonna look like they're into it. So that's one thing we try to do. You know, whenever we play, like we're always jumping around, just like having a good time, like that kind of stuff. Because it helps them like sort of relax and like realize, you know, obviously you're at a bars or a club, so it's fun, but they can get into it when they see like the DJs up there like getting crazy and stuff like that.
When you look out in the crowd, what do you think when you're playing your music?
It's super crazy.
Where am I?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
It's just fun. It's a privilege to be able to do it as a job. And so you just have to be.
that's important. It's important to have fun.
For sure.
So, like, after spring break, where are you guys going next? What are your future plans? Working on some songs? What's going on?
Always, yeah. A lot of music. That's actually something we haven't really been able to do recently because it's just been like back-to-back shows that we've been having to prepare for, and you know, a couple of that with like school and stuff. And so it's been a while since we've released something like really good. So after spring break, that'll be like the next objective on the list of things to do. And it's really just focusing in every time we release something, focusing more on like what makes us us, and really just actually finding like that sound too. And it's funny to hear each track goes and you look back over the last 5 tracks and you kind of hear the commonality between them, and you didn't really intend to. You think you're making a different track every time, but then you listen, you're like, oh, there are similar things in all of those, and that's kind of just what's making my sound, yeah. So yeah.
I think for most of our songs, like no matter what type of, like what genre or anything like that, you know, he's from Gulf Shores, like down at the beach and stuff like that, so that like heavily influences him. I like all the, like I said, you know, bass and stuff like that, but like no matter what, we just like to like make fun music, you know. It doesn't have to be anything like crazy or like explicit or anything like that. We want to make music that everybody can listen to and just enjoy and like have a good time. So I think that's like the main like key that we try to bring to all of our songs that we produce is just, you know, good vibes. Like it's fun, it's upbeat or it's downbeat. Like no matter what it is, it's gonna be like, you know, cool and fun. So.
Do you guys see yourself playing at a big festival like EDC or Ultra?
Sure.
Well, like, why not? Because if you're not shooting for that, then, like, what's the point of even doing it at all? So, like, in anything that you're doing, you want to always strive to be going for the biggest thing. Whether or not it's within your range, it's like if you're not shooting for the biggest thing that there is to do, then, like, why are you even doing it?
For sure. Have you guys ever been to any of those festivals before and, like, experienced it from the other side?
Yeah, like, well, as far as, like, music festivals, like, I actually traveled around to work a lot of them. Like, we worked Swanee doing, like, VIP services, or whether it's at Firefly in Delaware doing operations management. So for me, it's always trying to get plugged in from, like, the back of house, just to try to see, like, how all the cogs are moving in the big machine. And so it's been really cool to, like, do that.
That's awesome. Do you guys have your own recording studio here, or what?
I mean, I've got like studio equipment in my apartment that I call my studio, or whatever you want to call it. You know, been trying to set it up, you know, the best I can. It's pretty decent. It works for us. So.
As a producer in these days, I mean, as far as like the typical going to the studio has kind of been alleviated. For me personally, sometimes I don't really even go to the studio to mix my music because I know how it's supposed to sound in my own headphones. And so a lot of times I find it kind of constricting to go into a really well-treated studio because I'm not really familiar about how the master songs are supposed to sound in there, but I do know how they're supposed to sound in my own headphones. So I have better results just doing it within my own headphones that I have that I'm familiar with.
To be honest, I think all the songs we've released have been basically mixed and mastered through the headphones, earbuds, or something like that. We use like studio like monitors and stuff like that just for reference, just to have. But I really think the majority of it has been through headphones.
What were you doing in Germany? Were you working on music or?
Part-time. My full-time job is automotive, so I'm just traveling over there, training, stuff like that. But all my downtime is just sitting at my desk, music, sound design, researching music, whatever.
Were you inspired by the music there in Germany?
Oh yeah, it's music in Germany is way different. Well, I say it's way different. I think it's like DJ Snake came out with like Cold Water and like all these sort of like Moomba style, you know, tracks like that, I guess. And you go over to Europe, and that's all it is over there, like Moomba, reggaeton, stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely had an influence on me living over there for the past 7 months. You hear this stuff on the radio, you hear it sitting in restaurants. Like, I mean, like you talk about like electronic, like music is like a culture like that. That's it over there. I mean, you hear songs that you never hear over here, but you go out to eat and you hear it over the radio, and it's like, whoa. But yeah, it's definitely it's a good influence. I think it's definitely opened me to like a whole other side of like music and producing in a sense. That I see like my production and stuff sort of gravitating towards that now because I've been around it and I like really enjoy it now. So I think it's a good thing. I like the radio over there better than I do in the States. So
that's for sure. Did you get to go to any shows or anything while you were there?
Me and a buddy, we went to Paris a few weekends. Well, my last trip to Germany, we went to Paris one weekend and went and saw Borgor at some venue that was like underground, under a bridge. It was super dope, you know, really, really cool experience to see that. I was really, really upset because the night before I went, Marshmello had a sold-out show, and then I left on Sunday, and Chainsmokers were playing in Paris Monday.
And you were like, why?
So I was there for the weekend. Like I couldn't take off work, so I was pretty upset about it. It was still fun. Borgor was crazy. So.
What part of Germany were you in?
I'm in Freiburg, which is all the way southwest.
Okay.
So 30-minute drive to France, 30-minute drive to Switzerland.
Did you get to go to Berlin at all, or?
I haven't made my way up there yet. We made our way up to Amsterdam. It was like supposed to be a 6-hour train ride, but we can't read. Those are there.
Did you do it all? It's what he wants to
No,
know.
we actually rode bikes around the city all day when I was there. It's a massive city.
Well, thanks so much for hanging out with me and telling me everything
Yeah.
about you guys.
We appreciate it a lot.
So this is ZEWMØB. I'm Taylor Neuman. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys another time.
Cheers.
Oh.